Hi. I almost bled out and died a year ago. No, I didn't get shot in the leg or anything like that. Believe me, I'm just as shocked as you are that this happened to me. Sit down, grab a drink. You're probably gonna need some hydration or maybe some snacks to go along with this, because this is gonna be a bit of a wild ride, y'all. So buckle in. So I'm gonna start my story off at this very fun summer camp I had. It's called encampment. It's like boot camp for kids. Really fun. I ate a lot of MREs. Had a great time. But after said summer camp, I came home and I had tonsillitis, or infections in my tonsils. And I went to go see an ENT, and he said, you have two options. Live like this forever, or get your tonsils taken out. Now, as you know, 13 is a very old age to have your tonsils taken out. Usually kids do it at like 5 years old. And as you get older, the risk of bad things happening when you remove said tonsils gets higher and higher and higher. So, I go into surgery, they remove my tonsils, and I'm doing well, or semi-well, for the first week. Of course, I'm experiencing some pain. That's to be expected. I'm a little bit weak because I can't eat as much. And then about a week into it, I'm playing charades with my family. I'm having a good time. And as you know, when you have your tonsils removed, you can't speak very well. So that's why I was playing charades. I was having a great time. I was laughing for the first time in a week, because I'd been in so much pain and I'd been so weak. And then all of a sudden I start coughing. And I cough up 2 scabs with a little bit of blood. And I go, okay, they told me the scabs would fall out after about like a week. And then I start hemorrhaging blood. And that was something I did not intend on seeing. At least not at the time. And I got very scared. And so my parents rushed me to the hospital. And on the way there, I was losing so much blood that I could physically feel myself slipping in and out of consciousness. So I began to make an effort in my mind to stay conscious as long as possible. And even though I was scared, even though I was aware of the fact that I was bleeding out and slipping in and out of consciousness, I knew in my heart of hearts that I was not going to die. I knew that that was not the end that God had planned for me. I was not going to die bleeding out in the back of a car on a random highway. That's not how I was going to go out. So I get to the hospital. They make us go through the frickin' metal detectors, and I'm like slumped out in my parents' arms, bleeding out in the waiting room, and they're like, oh, you gotta go through the metal detector. Oh, you gotta sign this form in order for him to get admitted to the ER. Like, I was bleeding out. That was some BS, I'm not gonna lie to you. And so I get into the ER after some bureaucratic BS. And they give me coagulants, and I'm still coughing up some congealed blood every now and again. And funny story, I can technically say I've done fentanyl in a very legal and medical and safe way. YouTube, I'm being serious. I had lost so much blood that they couldn't give me regular painkillers. And the nurse came in and she was like, okay, honey, we're going to have to give you fentanyl. And my half bled out tail sat up and went, huh? I heard fentanyl and I had a heart attack. Don't worry, it wasn't like, they didn't give me crazy amounts of fent. Just like very watered down, like minuscule amounts of it. What was I going to say? So I stay overnight in the hospital, and they send me home in the morning after a quick little examination. And I get home, and I'm taking a nap, and about 11 a.m., I wake up and I start coughing. Guess what happens? I start hemorrhaging, worse than the first time. And like blood is shooting across the room. And YouTube, I know this can be considered graphic, but this is my story. And if people are uncomfortable with this, then they can click off the video. But other than that, I'm going to continue telling the story. So, I began hemorrhaging. Best way I can describe it is I turned into a human ketchup bottle. And we call ambulances because traffic was too dense to work through in our car. And they get there, take me to the hospital, and they finally say, okay, we need to do something other than give this kid coagulants and painkillers. So they re-cauterized the wound at the back of my throat, which means they basically took a laser, they pointed it at the bleeding spot and said, and it sealed it back up. Don't ask me how that works, I'm not a medical professional. But then everything's going great for 4 days. I'm recovering, I'm getting to eat more, it's very nice. I'm still not eating as much as I had been. And then I can't remember if it was morning or nighttime. I think it was morning. I have another smaller bleed, and they take me to the ENT that had administered my tonsillectomy, and he gave me a chemical cauterization, which is where instead of, like searing the wound to seal it back up, he used chemicals to seal it back up, kind of like not plastic, he didn't put plastic in my throat. Like he just kind of put a wall over it to seal it up, sort of. If I'm correct, that's how it works. But, so that happens, and then about 2 days later, I wake up, and I feel like I'm coughing, and I'm like, it's okay, I'm just coughing, and it continues for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, let me go to the sink, because with everything that had happened, I was like, let me go to the sink and spit, and just make sure there's nothing there. And guess what I found? Some very nice congealed blood. Yep. So, to be more exact, a mixture of fresh blood and congealed blood. Yippee! What a fun Christmas present. But then, I go to a hospital that's 30 minutes away because my local hospital wasn't available for some godforsaken reason. I can't even remember what was happening. I think my ENT was on vacation or something. That was crazy. That was a crazy lineup of events. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I go to this one, they administer as much treatment as they can, and I continue with my recovery process. Flawlessly. Or pretty much flawlessly. And I'm still technically recovering from all the blood I lost. Like, I'm still having iron issues. I still have to take iron every once in a while. It's really not that big of a deal. But, what was I gonna say? After my body, restores all these blood cells that were lost, they say, hey, we need to run some tests on you, because that wasn't normal. And, they run the test, and I pop positive for a very low factor of a blood disease called von Willebrand's. And I'm not qualified to explain it. You can go research it yourself. But basically it means my blood doesn't function correctly around areas like my my nose and my throat. And as you know, I am looking forward to a career in the U.S. military, and I want to go Special Forces. So this could prove to be a problem. And I've looked into it, I've researched it, and because of how low my von Willebrand's factor is, it's very possible that I could get a medical waiver and still do what I want to do. Even if I can't, I'm still going to enlist, because Screw blood diseases. They're not going to stop me from doing what I always dreamed of doing. There is also a good chance that I can grow out of this. Who would have thought I can just grow out of having a blood disease? If I do grow out of it, that'll be great. If I don't, so be it. I'm going to keep living my life. I'll just have to be a little more cautious, you know? But other than that, thank you all for sticking around. I'm sure you noticed the, month to 3 month long gap of no uploading about a year ago, if you were here that long ago. I think I only had 100 subscribers back then, man. But thank you all for sticking around. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that I'm still standing here, talking to a camera, talking to you. I'm still here, and I still get to be with my family. By the grace of God, I am still alive today. Thank you all for watching. God loves you.